This is Dahboo777. We have a serious situation here in America and around the world. It's really for anyone that is holding US dollars that thinks that they're going to be able to hold on to that US dollar and it's going to hold any kind of power from here forward. As we have all the talk out in the open now for all the sheep to see that our power run is over. The United States, as you know it, is done. And we didn't lose no big war, so to speak. We've just been sold out by your politicians that have done all of this. Now, this all ties into the mass printing of money, which we know they can't do forever. And going forward from here, we know that they now have a plan to roll out this FedGovNow.app, FedNow.gov app, which is basically its own cash app. And this comes right here as the guy that owned Cash App just got murdered. The creator of the original Cash App gets murdered in San Francisco, stabbed to death. And the FedNow, basically the ledger. If you know anything about crypto, this is the ledger in which a CBDC or any other thing would operate on. This is their blockchain. And as you can see right here, they're rolling this out in July, and this is all toward getting people to get on the CBDC system ultimately. It's a slow process, but it's working for them. In the meantime, you can see that other countries are dumping the dollar in all of the trade. It's picking up more and more, the snowball effect. You can see Russia, China, Iran, Brazil, Argentina, Saudi Arabia, UAE, India. You can even add France on there that's now buying liquid gas and propane from China in another currency. You have the BRICS coming together, developing a new currency, but it also is just like the CBDC. It is a digital currency. It's all on blockchain. So be fooled not. China, Russia, Israel, the United States, the UK, all of them, all the governments are pushing the same thing, just like they all push lockdowns the same. Are you starting to see a pattern here? You've been sold out. The whole world has. And it's the people versus these beast governments. You need to see it for what it is. Because if they establish a CBDC in your country or your neck of the woods, it's game over. Your privacy, your freedom, gone. Now, back when currency was backed by gold, things were a little bit different. They found it difficult in the Great Depression to be able to print money. They couldn't just kick on the printer because everything was backed by gold. So they did away with it. This was on April 5th, 1933. We had Franklin Delano Roosevelt sign Executive Order 6102 into motion. A lot of people refer to this as the gold confiscation order. But to break it down, it was an order that required private citizens and businesses, corporations to turn in all but small amounts of gold to the Federal Reserve in exchange for a $20.67 per ounce price. Now, that executive order was one of several steps that Roosevelt took toward ending the gold standard in the United States. Then we fast forward to 1971, Bretton Woods, which is now dissolved, when Saudi Arabia just told the whole world, without a shot being fired, that they are willing to trade in something other than US dollars for oil and all these other commodities. It shows the game is over. Central banks buying gold and showing no signs of slowing down. At record-shattering paces, they are gobbling up gold, stuffing it into their vaults, while printing out monopoly money for the rest of the masses. And this whole thing's about to come crashing down by design. I've warned about this extensively since 2017 about the beast blockchain, and it's about to be implemented in the United States this July with the FedNow as the ledger for it all. Every other country taking their own route, but all blockchains tie into one big beast AI system that oversees it all globally. And remember, things are going to get uncomfortable in America and for anyone holding US dollars, but they're not just going to disappear because a majority of the currency used around the world is US dollars. When you look at the percentages, you will see that it's going to take some time just for the Chinese currency to get into circulation. Okay? Because there's hardly any of it out there in the world system. US dollars make up 58% of foreign exchange reserves. But that's all getting dumped in massive amounts at lightning speed. Remember that. Right? That's far above even the second place person, which is the euro here, at 20%. All other currencies far behind. The Japanese yen is 5.5. The pound sterling makes up 5. And the renminbi, or the yuan from China, is only 2.7%. So the whole goal here in the meantime is they're going to cause a disaster, and they're definitely going after crypto, as you can see, because that's the move to make, as I've told you this whole time for years now. When they try to force their CBDC down your throat, they're going after crypto. That's exactly what's happening. I've warned you and I've warned you and I've warned you about these traps. Now they're running Coinbase, Binance, all of them out of the country so they can enforce the CBDC around the corner. First step, the FedGov ledger. This is going to take some time, okay? But it's happening. It's like boiling the frog, and before you know it, it's too late. And remember, even the UK or England's, what was it, pound or whatever it was, sterling, or I forget what it was called, their main currency that used to be the world reserve currency, it still exists. It didn't just disappear. All. So the US dollar may hang around, but it's definitely dying and losing its powerful world reserve currency status. And this is by design by the players here on the world stage. No doubt about it. Join me on the live streams Monday and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, for a whole lot more. This has been Dahboo7. Peace.